So I recently put up a post asking what you guys would like to see from the Little Nightmares DLC, and you guys gave me some interesting ideas slash just, you know, little things you would like to see in the DLC. We're gonna go over that today, whether it's theorizing what will be in the DLC, just discussing it overall, or just basically playing out stuff that we would like to see in it. But yeah, before we do that, like, subscribe, and also hype the video, and let's get right into it. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of go through these one by one. Seeing them all after everything went to shit would be interesting. Different rooms that were unexplorable in Little Nightmares 1, but that's definitely reach. Yeah, I don't see that happening. I just don't see them recycling them all and using that again. I really don't, you know, especially with the promo art or whatever that they already have out. I really don't see that happening. And plus, I kind of think that was what the Secret of the Mall DLC was, but it would be cool to see that, I guess, in something else. Maybe like a spin-off or a comic, a tie-in comic or something, or like a series or something. That would be interesting to see in general. But yeah, I don't see that happening for the DLC. An actual connection to the first two games for once. I definitely think there might be a little bit of Easter eggs. I don't think that it'll have just a straight up connection. Like, I don't see like one of the characters appearing or maybe one of the monsters appearing again. Even though I guess they could do that technically, because I guess you don't kill every single monster in Little Nightmares 2 or even 1. But honestly, I feel as if they're going to tie it in more to the maybe the comics or something, or the podcast even more, to be honest, other than the other two games, because that seems like really what they're going off of for the entire series, which is okay. So but actually no, I'd rather them just go the first two games, because at least the people that have played the games, it would make sense for them to play the third game, and actually the characters would make sense to them, or the story would actually make sense, or the lore, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that seems to be what they're going off of. What I want to see from the Little Nightmares 3 DLC is, remember when we got DLC from Little Nightmares 1, it focused on a new child, it gave us secrets to the mall that we never seen in the base game, and explain why gnomes exist. Well, for this DLC, it should do the exact same thing, but go bigger. Have new monsters, improve puzzles, have more interesting rooms, and even give us some hints on why some things in the spiral are the way they are. Cough, cough, monster baby. I actually agree with this. I can't even lie. I feel like it should just focus on a new child, but I don't think it will. Fortunately, I think it'll focus on Low again. Just again, based off of the promo image, and honestly, beating it again, I really do feel like they will go off of the, like, okay, he's gonna try to go back into the spiral or whatever to search for a loan, to find a way to get a loan out. I actually kind of do think that that's going to be the story based off of the ending, but I do think a new child protagonist would be interesting. Obviously, new monsters, improved puzzles, more interesting rooms, and yeah, even the lore behind some of the monsters would be more interesting, because then you actually know why they're there. That would be cool. I feel like that would be a very great idea. So yeah, I agree with that. I would like to see the ferryman and have a reference to 6, or have 6 in the game some way, shape, or form. There has to be better monsters and better gameplay. Yeah, ferryman is obviously, if you guys saw the video, #1 for me. And a reference to 6, yes, I do feel like that I feel like that's very possible. A reference at least to 6 is very, very possible. I don't know if she'll actually show up, but a reference for sure. I kind of can see that happen. I feel like that will happen, honestly. If I had to bet money on it, I do feel like, because it's like, I mean, what do you do at a certain point? Like, the third game didn't get very well received, like, and the series is down, like it's almost dead. Like, what do? You bring back, you know, the main protagonist of the series, basically. Like, I could see that happening, but I don't know if they'll go that far. But I definitely think that she will have a reference in some sort of way, or show up in some, or like the yellow raincoat maybe, or something. I feel like something like that might happen. I want that the new playable character is Mono or 6. I would like that too, but I don't think Mono could be, story-wise, I don't think Mono could be playable character. I don't know. Maybe in some weird, I don't know, alternate way. I don't even freaking know. But 6, I doubt it, man. I doubt that they're gonna have 6 as just a straight up playable character, but would be cool. I think that Low is gonna try to build the mirror, so you have to go through the puzzle and scary monsters. Hope we get monsters like the kin and the teacher. I feel like that honestly, what I was talking about before, the ending of the third game, beating it again, I do feel like that he's gonna try to find a way to save Alone. So Alone might actually reappear as the co-op partner. I'm not even lying to y'all. And I don't really want to see that. I better see Mirror Man or the North Wind. If not, I will crash out politely. Yeah, so Mirror Man and Northwind, I believe, are something in the comics for the first game or something like that, where the Mirror Man appears and the Northwind appears. Now, to explain this to you guys, the Mirror Man, it literally would appear in the mirror, and I watched a video on it. It's like he would make you, let you be whatever you want in the mirror, and then whenever he did that, he would like chase you through the mirrors and grab you or something. I don't know, something like that. And the Northwind is literally like wind that's like a monster. I believe that is what it is. Forgive me if I didn't get that right, but yeah, that would be cool for them to show up. I mean, are they, is that what they're just gonna do though, is like make all the comics canon at that point? But I feel like it would be cool, but at the same time, I would like to see like more original maybe monsters. Like the Ferryman, I do want to see, even though you know what he looks like and he has that laid out. Like I do feel like the Ferryman would be cool, but at the same time, I would like to see original monsters maybe and see what they could come up with, but it'll be that good, but we'll see. Hopefully. Hopefully it will be. But I wouldn't mind seeing the Mirror Man or the Northwind at all, even if they did show up, honestly. I mean, that would be cool. What I really want is a more complex story. Lo returns to the nowhere and finds Six, who by this point has become fully corrupted. Together, their goal is to find Alone. Over time, Six breaks down Lo's confidence and self-control, slowly turning him into something more feral, much like she is. As the journey drags on, Lo becomes increasingly unstable. His search for Alone takes too long. Six keeps pushing his limits, and eventually he completely loses control. Collapse opens the door for the corruption to take over, and in the end, that's what transforms him into the Mirror Man. Wow, what a theory. Holy shit. That would be crazy. That would be interesting. That would be something, I guess, if they did a twist like that. I don't know if they, like this reply says, I don't know if they would waste it in the DLC. I don't know if Six would appear in the DLC. I feel like I said again, I feel like they will have some reference to her in some sort of way, a reference maybe. But this theory is interesting. I'm not sure if it will happen. It is very interesting, and maybe it could even happen in the fourth game. The Mirror Man, I mean, that would make sense, I guess, because he is obsessed with the mirrors and shit. So, and he can go through the mirrors like that. So yeah, maybe he would. Maybe at the end of the DLC, maybe he will become the Mirror Man. Shit, okay, maybe that is true. But maybe Six to be the one that does it, I don't know about that. But he could become the Mirror Man in the DLC. That is very interesting, actually. Holy, that is a very interesting comment. Actually, I think that I like that one. I like that. I don't know how likely it is, but I do like it. I want to see Lo come back to the nowhere and maybe encounter his Mirror Man, accepting the offer back to the nowhere forever, so he can be with Alone. I also hope the player seeing a promotion image with Lo is 6 after very Little Nightmares or Little Nightmares 2, but that's a stretch. Yeah, did we see again? It's just a weird timeline thing. Where does Little Nightmares 3 take place? I think the general consensus is that it takes place before Little Nightmares 2. I guess it's like the consensus or something, just because of the TVs and stuff. But yeah, more and more I am leaning towards, I guess, Lo trying to go back and trying to save Alone. And you know what, this theory might be, or this thing might be the most possible, with him accepting the offer for the nowhere or whatever, so he can be with Alone, at least for this first part. The second part I feel like is way less likely. 6 is the co-op partner. I would like that a lot, but again, not sure how likely that is, but I feel like the first part is very, very likely. I don't feel like that's a stretch at all. I feel like the first part could actually happen, because again, just that little not epilogue, but the little after credits scene where he's trying to fix the mirror, that just to me does seem like they're gonna have him just try to go back, and that's what the DLC is gonna be about. Is he's gonna try to go back into the nowhere, the spiral or whatever it's called, and just try to find Alone again, and actually try to find a way to get her out of there or whatever the hell. And that's why I think she's gonna be the co-op partner too, again. But I don't know, way harder and better puzzles, and actually sneaking by the monsters instead of waiting for them to leave the room. Those are the two main things I want. Maybe something that connects the games to the previous two would be good too, dude. The reason I'm laughing is because, yeah, honestly, whenever I read that comment, the room with the supervisor popped into my head, where you literally just wait for her to leave. I know exactly what he's talking about. Way harder puzzles, yeah. I mean, I don't even think you gotta make the puzzles way harder. Just make them, you know, at least more interesting, at least. But yes, they were pretty simple in the third game, so yeah, harder puzzles are fine with me. Actual sneaking sections I feel like would be great. Better chases as well. Let's say that, you know, let's just do a whole improvement there. All right, and then the last one. Honestly, I'm pairing with you. I really want to see a full game model of the Ferryman. I will also want the DLC to do well. It really upset me the third game installment didn't do great. Like I said, a perfect world, Little Nightmares 3 would be good, and Reanimal, but you know, it is what it is for one. For two, yeah, the Ferryman, a full game model would be cool. They already have a costume in the third game for him, or the Ferryman set, or whatever you want to call it. They already have him somewhat modeled, like a costume after him. So, I mean, yeah, I do feel like he's coming. If anything, he will be in there. If I had to bet money on what I will see in the DLC, if it was a monster or anything that's connected at all, I feel like the Ferryman will be the number one I would bet on. I would bet all my money on that, because I do feel like he will make an appearance for sure. Eventually, after like the podcast has kind of talked about it, Little Nightmares 3 is hinted with the costumes, all that, and now with the promotional art with the ship wreckage and all that, and you know, all that stuff, I definitely do think he will be in it for sure. But yeah, that was all the questions. Appreciate y'all. Let me know in the comments what you guys would like to see in the DLC, if you guys have any theories or even just any simple things you would want to see. And yeah, that's the end of this video. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you like Little Nightmares 3 content. I appreciate you. Subscribe if you like Reanimal content. That game's coming out soon. And yeah, I'll see you guys next video. Peace.